Hey guys, this is Ben from Flippa. I'm speaking today with Momin from one of our featured listings called Strobeprops. Really unique e-commerce stories found a niche selling, for the most part, fake money, the kind of stuff that's used in film, TV, stage shows, maybe even on Halloween, all over the place. Not a huge amount of competition, and he's really found a lot of success doing it. So stay tuned, and we'll be speaking with the owner. So thanks for joining me today. It's really good to have you. Really cool listing, pretty unique product, which is
Thank you.
exciting to me because you tend to see a lot of similar things
Drop
because of the
shipping,
internet.
women's
Yeah, whatever it
clothing.
is, and this one's definitely more unique than that, which is kind of cool. So yeah, if you want to just kind of introduce yourself, maybe what your background is. I don't know. I mean, you're a young guy. I don't know what your business history is,
Yeah,
and then just kind of how you ended up starting this site.
sure. My name is Momin. I'm 23 years old. I just graduated with a degree in data analysis and computer science. Um, you know, uh, I've done other like small business stuff, like really quickly. Like I flipped a few houses. I've flipped some cars. Sold phone cases at the mall and etc. But this absolutely takes the cake in terms of how much money it's made and how easy it is to run. Um, um, and I just want to sell it because I'm actually working on an application. It's pretty much taking a lot of my money and time to build this application, but it needs a lot more money, which is why I'm looking to sell this so I can build that application.
That makes sense. We tend to hear that quite
Yeah,
often. That's why you always wonder, like, why is someone selling something that's doing so well? And they're like, well, I
no,
need I need the money up front so I can do
yeah,
something else.
yeah. I mean, I've been putting like $1,000 or $2,000 a week into it, but it's like it costs a lot more than that. So at this pace, it's gonna take like years to build up.
Exactly. I
So
I completely understand. So yeah, like, how did you find this niche? Like, how did,
sure. So I know a lot of people in like the film world and the pranks and YouTube and especially theater. I know a lot of people in theater, and always there's a scene where a woman is leaving her husband and she's taking his money, or maybe a drug deal, or you're paying somebody to do something shady or something like that, and they always had problems coming across fake money that looks relatively good, because a lot of fake money, like they'll have like um, like Andrew Jackson with his nose like twice the size of his face, and it looks really rough. So I sent these designs to. There's actually a Secret Service office in Irving. I sent these to them, and the first few months I would email them every few weeks, and they said, "No, you're good to go. You don't have any problems with that. You're fine. There's nothing wrong here." And I found a good vendor, and he developed them for me, and he gives me really good prices on them, and I just went about starting a Shopify store, and then it really after just a few weeks it really took off more than I even expected. I thought it would be a few extra $100 a month, maybe I could pay my food and stuff like that, but it really did take off. It allowed me to go to school and finish school. It allowed my wife to go to school and finish school.
wow.
Paid for a year my son's daycare, um, and rent every month, and food, and furniture and TV and internet and everything. All my bills, it's paid all my bills, and plus I'm able to set aside several $1,000s a month, and plus the few $1,000s I put in every month for that application I'm trying to build up. So I mean, it's a really good business. I wouldn't even say a lot of downside. I don't really think there is a downside. There's plenty of room for it to grow. I spend most of my days coding. I just do this probably like 30 to 40 minutes a day. If somebody, a prospective customer who wanted to buy this, were to put in a few extra hours a week, I'm sure they could, make it so much more. And I've spoken with several people around me with great ideas that would cost literally nothing to really grow this business and stuff. But I just don't have the time.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. A lot of interesting points there. I mean, that's I wanted to touch on. It sounds like you went through some sort of kind of like, I don't know, due diligence, whatever it is, process to make sure that this product's
Absolutely,
good to go.
absolutely,
It's cool that you
absolutely.
talk to the right people, because I'm sure that's must be a question that comes up quite often. Like, what's the legality here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they said exactly this. They said it's just like a knife. If if you have a knife, if you use a knife or something like that, you're not going to have a problem. The problem comes when you do something illegal with the knife. They said, anybody who has this isn't going to have a problem. If they get pulled over, if they anything and they have this in the car, it's not going to be a problem. The problem is going to come if they try to spend it at 7-Eleven or something. But I mean, it's up on my website. If you try to spend this, even if the person is deaf, dumb, and blind, they're going to know it's fake. I mean, it's not made to feel real or anything like that. It's really for film.
So are you making this with just like you found a printer who could just kind of make this?
Sure. I work with a pretty big printing company. I don't want to go into details until somebody buys it.
No, of course.
Yeah, but it's a pretty big printing company. I send them what I want. They get it ready. It takes them just a couple of days, and I go pick it up. Or somebody, if they wanted to, they could have it mailed to them. They're glad to do that.
Awesome. Do you think they would be willing to ship directly to purchasers, like in a sort of a drop ship fashion?
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh yeah, they said they would be glad to do that. But I just said, I'd rather do it myself, because even if it costs an extra $100 a week, it's that $100 a week that could go to me, for very little work. Yeah.
Well, it's nice because you live close. Obviously, if someone lives
right
in Washington or something, it might be a little tough.
But to that point, I've spoken with people in my area, especially business students, who said that they would be glad to do it for $100 a week, and for $200 a week, they'll also, run the website and work on integration, because, the next step for this business is to integrate onto Wish and Amazon and eBay and other websites like that. Yeah. So,
are you selling 100% on your own Shopify page right now?
Correct. So they said, so that's the next step. And, I don't know if it's going to make an extra couple $100 a month or an extra several $1,000s a month. So that is the next step. And I've spoken with people in the area who said that they would be glad to do it. At one point I was selling on Store Envy, which is kind of like eBay, but, or Amazon. I sold on that for a while, but the problem was with that, they wouldn't let me print the shipping labels. So every time I went to the post office, I had to type in their address myself. And it took a little bit of extra time. And I just, I was really busy, so I just, didn't want to put in the time for that. So I just took it off of that. But I'm sure if I put it right back on, it's going to make an extra. That probably put about maybe $1,000 a month into my pocket.
Oh, well, that's a great test then. But yeah, as you make sense.
Yeah.
If you're getting a few orders, you can handle it. But if you're starting to get 1,000 orders, then that becomes too much work.
Yeah.
But there's ways to figure it out. And I'm sure there's plenty of people on Flippa who know how to figure that out.
Right.
Before. I think I asked you in the blog, and I was just curious because you mentioned selling like to production studios, stuff like that. And
sure.
And you answered this in the blog, but do you have like a few really big companies who are buying like
not necessarily
millions of dollars?
I mean, I've had a few people buy, quote unquote millions of dollars and stuff like that. But, I wouldn't say it's a big part of my business, just because, once you buy from this, you could use it forever. So I've had probably like 5,000 or 6,000 orders in total. They're all from like probably 3,000 or 4,000 different people.
Right.
So even my top 10 customers were to suddenly stop buying from me, my business wouldn't skip a beat. I frankly wouldn't even probably notice. I don't have a lot of people or anybody really who, my business is running on. It's really running on the masses.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, local theaters,
sure.
Film students, who knows what it is, or just Halloween. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's great. No, it's a really, as I said, like I love seeing just such an interesting product. I haven't seen anything like this on Flippa before. And I guess you mentioned a couple of growth opportunities already. I don't know if you had any other ideas of what you might tell a new owner to throw their money at, ways to kind of grow this.
I mean, I would say if they want to, when I started, I had social media and stuff like that, but it just proved not effective for me. I'm not a big social media guy, so maybe if someone is social media savvy, they could, turn things around. But, if, a lot of people like Facebook marketing, I think I put like $100 into Facebook marketing. This is like late 2018. So my memory's a little bit fuzzy, but it didn't necessarily turn into sales. If that's something you would want to do, that would be, for the next buyer would want to do, that would be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not on social media at all. So
good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not on social media at all for this business or even personally. but not for this business at all. So if a prospective buyer feels as though there's room for growth in terms of social media marketing, that's fine with me, you know. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But
No,
I think the
it's
growth is integration into it with other things, and Shopify is really good with, you know, helping you integrate. I
right.
actually worked with Wish, and they approved all my products to sell on their website. They just want me to say yes, and I just, you know, I'll just leave that for the next person because I don't want to be between Wish and Shopify and stuff like that.
I completely understand. It just kind of adds complexity to the business.
Right.
But yeah, no, it makes sense. You know, find more places to sell this, and you can do well. And can't be too much competition out there for this product as well.
Not necessarily. I mean, I know there are a few websites out there, but I don't think anybody else sells this product. But you know, I don't think any other website sells this product. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's probably 3 or 4 other people who are in this world, but you know, even if they are competition, you know, I've made a nice niche for myself. I don't know if they're making $1 million a month or $1,000 a month, so I can't really speak to how the competition is going. But
yeah, of course.
But I'm happy with the way it is.
Yeah, well, competing with just 3 or 4 people ain't too bad.
Yeah.
It's better than competing with 10,000, which
Right,
businesses are.
Leggings and wigs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great, man. No, it's really cool. I think we're gonna find someone's gonna be really happy when they stumble across this on Flippa. Hopefully, they find something that's gonna really help them out for what they're looking. It's really cool to hear how much this paid for your lifestyle for the last couple of years.
Yeah, for the last year and a half. Yeah, I probably took, like, I'm not exaggerating, probably 7 vacations in the last year. You know, so you know. And plus, you know, I live a normal life with rent and food and insurance and cars and etc. So, you know, I managed to pay for everything with this. And, you know, as it all says, you know, the margins are good and everything like that. So I'd also like to point out that I have enough shipping materials and to probably last you 6 months. And I have enough actual props to probably last you 2 months right now. I'm making another order for my vendor. So in a couple of days, it's probably going to be closer to enough props for the next 5 or 6 months. So when somebody is to buy this and, you know, they're making $15,000 to $20,000 a month in revenue, they could keep all of that money. All they're going to have to pay is shipping, which should total to about, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 a month. So, you know, to any prospective buyer, you know, I have everything set up. You're not going to have to spend a dime until you're making money. And, you know, Shopify is the easiest thing. I just put in your bank info, and then they'll start depositing to your bank, and you're good to go. So the first few months, if you want to buy, you know, a ton of more props from the vendor, that's fantastic. But you could theoretically not pay for anything for 6 months except that shipping.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Then you should buy it.
I'll consider it. If I bought everything on Flippa that I liked, I'd have no money left.
No, you'd be making a lot of money.
Or I'd be making a lot of money. I'm gonna need to find some very legitimate investors on my side.
Sure.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for joining me. This has been interesting to learn about. Appreciate it.
I'm glad. Well, just let me know if you have any questions or anything like that, or anything I could do to make the posting more attractive.